A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. A great man clings to the essentials and leaves the insignificant. He does everything in truth, but he will never rely on laws. A healthy man wants 1,000 things. A sick man only wants one. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. A leader leads by example, not by force. A long absence of sex turns a person into a neurotic. A man dies easily because he has too much will to live. A man must not be without shame, for the shame of being without shame is shamelessness indeed. A noble person blames himself, and an insignificant person blames others. A man with outward courage dares to die. A man with inner courage dares to live. A sage who wants to be above people puts himself below them, wanting to be ahead of them. He becomes behind. A trail through the mountains, if used, becomes a path in a short time. But if unused, becomes blocked by grass in an equally short time. A wise man adapts himself to circumstances as water shapes itself to the vessel that contains it. A wise man makes his own decisions. An ignorant man follows public opinion. An enemy is a friend who knows too much about you. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. Attack the evil that is within yourself rather than attacking the evil that is in others. Be attentive to your thoughts. They are the beginning of actions. Be bent, and you will stay straight. Be empty, and you will remain complete. Be worn out, and you will stay new. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby, you can be the director of the opponent's fate. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Beware of sugar that is mixed with poison. Beware of the fly that sat on a dead snake. By letting it go, it all gets done. The world is won by those who let it go. By remaining true to yourself, without seeking to compare and compete, you will achieve universal respect. By 3 methods, we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Disorder came from order. Fear came from courage. Weakness came from strength. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. Do not seek, otherwise you will lose. Do not seek, and you will find. Don't criticize your neighbor's roof for a lot of snow when your door is not clean. Even a loss can turn into a profit, or a profit can turn into a loss. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. Every animal with blood in its veins and horns on its head will fight when it is attacked. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Fill your bowl to the brim and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife and it will be blunt. Forget injuries, never forget kindness. Friends are the siblings God never gave us. Friendship is 1 mind and 2 bodies. Get rid of the desire to have. Getting something done is like digging a well. You can dig a well 70 deep, but if you don't hit water, it's just an abandoned well. Give a bowl of rice to a man, and you will feed him for a day. Teach him to grow his own rice, and you will save his life. Great is the man who has not lost his childlike heart. Great results can be achieved with small forces. Great wisdom is generous. Petty wisdom is contentious. Great speech is impassioned. Small speech cantankerous. Happiness is the absence of the striving for happiness. Happiness is when you are understood. Great happiness is when you are loved. Real happiness is when you love. He who conquers others is strong. He who conquers himself is mighty. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. He who does not trust enough will not be trusted. He who flatters a man is his enemy. He who tells him of his faults is his maker. He who is satisfied with his lot is rich. He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. He who knows the measure is satisfied with his position. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. He who carefully finishes his work as he began will not fail. Health is the greatest possession. Contentment is the greatest treasure. Confidence is the greatest friend. I have just 3 things to teach: simplicity, patience, and compassion. These 3 are your greatest treasures. If he sends reinforcements everywhere, he will be weak everywhere. If someone wants to offend you greatly, then it is even worse for him. If the mind is willing, the flesh could go on and on without many things. If there is no dull and determined effort, there will be no brilliant achievement. If they spit at you behind your back, it means you're ahead of them. If what one has to say is not better than silence, then one should keep silent. If you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. If you are alone for a long time, soon you will accept loneliness. You will never know your potential if you are afraid to be alone. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. If you aren't afraid of dying, there is nothing you can't achieve. If you don't want anyone to know, don't do it. If you hate, then you have been defeated. If you lack faith, then existence does not believe in you. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. If you plan for 1 year, plant rice. If you plan for 10 years, plant trees. If you plan for 100 years, educate mankind. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. It is better to light one small candle than to curse of the darkness. It is easy to hate, and it is difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things works. All good things are difficult to achieve, and bad things are very easy to get. It is easy to love your friend, but sometimes the hardest lesson to learn is to love your enemy. Knowledge is the treasure and practice is the key to it. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them. Learn as if you constantly feel you lack your knowledge, and as if you are constantly afraid of losing your knowledge. Live for the praise of others, and you will become their prisoner. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Never say never, because the days go by so fast and nothing stays the same. Learn as if you were not reaching your goal and as though you were scared of missing it. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. Man dies from birth. Man's nature is evil. Goodness is the result of conscious activity. New beginnings are disguised as painful endings. No matter how busy you may think you are, you must find time for reading or surrender yourself to self-chosen ignorance. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Patience is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. People are distressed by their inability to do it. The problem, however, is simply that they don't do it. People in ancient times did not like to talk much. They considered it a shame for themselves not to keep up with their own words. People of higher morality do not consider themselves moral. Therefore, they have the highest morality. Plan for what is difficult while it is easy. Do what is great while it is small. Ponder and deliberate before you make a move. Pride in excess brings disaster for man. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Respond intelligently, even to unintelligent treatment. Roads were made for journeys, not destinations. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. So the unwilling soul sees what's hidden, and the ever-wanting soul sees only what it wants. Soft and weak wins over hard and strong. Sometimes we see a lot, but do not notice the main thing. Sometimes you must yield in order to win, and sometimes maintaining a low place leads you to win. Study the past if you would define the future. Success is as dangerous as failure. Hope is as hollow as fear. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. Tell me and I will forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I will understand. Temperance is the first step of virtue, which is the beginning of moral perfection. The best fighter is never angry. The beginning of wisdom is to call things by their proper name. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The biggest problem in the world could have been solved when it was small. The disease of men is that they neglect their own fields and go to weed the fields of others. The feeling of right or wrong is the beginning of wisdom. The funniest people are the saddest ones. The harder you fall, the higher you bounce. The man who asks the question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. The man who chases two rabbits catches neither. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are both correct. The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. The more laws and order are made prominent, the more thieves and robbers there will be. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. The more you don't have sex, the less you want it. The more you know, the less you understand. The more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know. The noble person uses things, the lesser man is used by things. The one who knows and pretends not to know is on top. Who, without knowledge, pretends to be knowledgeable, he is sick. The one who offends you takes away your negative energy and gives you his positive energy. The perfect man uses his mind as a mirror. It grasps nothing. It regrets nothing. It receives, but does not keep. The person attempting to travel two roads at once will get nowhere. The power of intuitive understanding will protect you from harm until the end of your days. The skillful artist will not alter his measures for the sake of a stupid workman. The superior man is modest in his speech but exceeds in his actions. The snow goose needs not bathe to make itself white, neither need you to do anything but be yourself. The sound of water says what I think. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his actions. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. The truth is not always beautiful, nor are beautiful words the truth. The way is near, but men seek it afar. It is an easy thing, but men seek it in difficult things. The way of truth is like a great road. It is not difficult to know it. The evil is only that men will not seek it. The way out is through the door. Why is it that no one will use this method? The whole being knows without learning, sees without looking, and attains without doing. The wise man avoids all extremes. The wise man does not lay up his own treasures. The more he gives to others, the more he has for his own. The wise man is one who knows what he does not know. The wise man learns from the experience of others. The fool has to learn by his own experience. There are 1,000 lessons in defeat, but only one in victory. There is beauty in everything, but not everyone can see it. There is no crime greater than having too many desires. There is no disaster greater than not being content. There is no misfortune greater than being covetous. 3 things never come back: time, word, and opportunity. Therefore, do not waste time, choose words, and do not miss the opportunity. There is nothing softer and more flexible than water, but try to resist it. Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so when warfare, there are no constant conditions. Think of tomorrow. The past can't be mended. Those who realize their folly are not true fools. Time is a created thing. To say I don't have time is like saying I don't want to. To be wronged is nothing, unless you continue to remember it. To complain about an unpleasant thing is to double the evil. To laugh at it is to destroy it. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. To lead people, follow them. To love a thing means wanting it to live. To recognize your insignificance is empowering. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. To see what is right and not do it is the worst cowardice. True words are not pleasant. Pleasant words are not true. Truth uttered before its time is always dangerous. Try your best to be to others as you would wish to be treated yourself, and you will find that this is the shortest way to benevolence. Victory over others gives strength. Victory over oneself gives fearlessness. Ultimate excellence lies not in winning every battle, but in defeating the enemy without ever fighting. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. We accept advice and drops, but we distribute it in buckets. We gained by losing, lose by gaining. We have 2 lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. We take greater pains to persuade others that we are happy and endeavoring to think so ourselves. What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's job? What is evil to one at one time becomes good at another time to somebody else. What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease. Wheels of justice grind slow, but grind fine. What the caterpillar calls the end, the rest of the world calls a butterfly. What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. When anger rises, think of the consequences. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. When one door closes, another opens, but we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one which has opened for us. When people know a lot, it is difficult to manage them. When I free myself from who I am, I become who I can be. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When true virtue is lost, good nature appears. When good nature is lost, justice appears. When justice is lost, decency appears. The rules of decency are only the semblance of truth and the beginning of all disorder. When we see men of worth, we should think of equaling them. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. When you drink water, remember the source. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart. Who do not know the evils of war cannot appreciate its benefits. Who knows, doesn't say. Who speaks, doesn't know. Who wishes to fight must first count the cost. Whoever talks a lot often fails. Whoever, undertaking a business, hurries too quickly to achieve a result will do nothing. Work on clearing your thoughts. If you do not have bad thoughts, there will be no bad deeds. Worry not that no one knows you. Seek to be worth knowing. You are controlled by the one who makes you angry. You can always rise above those who offend you by forgiving them. You can overcome bad habits only today, not tomorrow. You can't trust a man who has nothing to lose. You cannot open a book without learning something. You have to believe in yourself. Your life is what your thoughts make it.